Going on, everyone? Welcome to the RabidMining YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Ipollo Ethereum Classic Plus mini miner. So this is pretty much out of the mini ETC miners, this is the biggest one with the most amount of hash rate. So in this video we're going to be looking at what all comes into the box. Right here we can see we have obviously the miner. It has an antenna which you have to install. We got a power cable, the box, power supply. The power supply itself does look like it is a 360 watt power adapter for 100 to 265 volts, 50 to 60 hertz, 4.3 amps, 12 volt, 30 amps. So there you go. This can run on your standard 110 all the way up to 260 volt need be, depending on what you are running at. So in this video, I will go over some hash rates for you guys. We'll check out how much power consumption this thing actually sucks out of the wall. We'll have a look at the noise through a decibel reader, and then we'll also give you an idea on how to set this thing up. Let's jump into the website of Jingle Mining, who did send me this miner, and just take a look on the advertised specs of this miner. So here we are at the Jingle Mining website, and already I got some sad news, as it looks like all their units of the ETC Classic Plus is currently sold out. Jingle Mining did send me this miner to showcase for you guys. This is also what I believe to be the cheapest price you can find anywhere on the internet for this specific miner. You can see it is on sale for $999, and it's saying 280 mega hash at 270 watts. I will have links in the description to this webpage. It is a referral link, so it greatly helps the channel if you do use it before you purchase. Also, code RabidMining grants a 1% discount on your order. And on top of that, stay tuned. I will update everyone in my Discord, as well as my Twitter feed, as well as join Jingle Mining's Twitter feed and everything. All the links are in the description to stay up to date on stock levels. I'm assuming that will be in stock very soon. As for payment methods here, it does say we accept Coinbase, ETH, USDC, ERC20 format, wire transfer, and USDT, USDC, BUSD, ETH, DAI payments. And I just want to look at the specs here kind of, because this is what we're going to compare it to see, you know, if reported specs are lying or not when we actually showcase. Now, every website has the same specs, but we're just using Jingle Mining here because that's where we got this from. So here we can see a hash rate of 280 mega hash plus minus of about 10%. Power consumption 270 watts plus minus 10%. We will be looking into all of this, obviously. The memory on this miner is 3.6 gigabytes. So later on, I will be going over what this means for Ethereum Classic miners out there, how long this thing can mine. And it looks like this might be a spelling error, but it does say coin supported ETC only. Now, the Ipollo official claims the software would support other ETC hash coins in the future. So if you're unfamiliar with algorithms and everything, Ethereum Classic is the only coin on ETC hash. So I'm assuming they mean ETH hash here, which is what Ethereum is on. Obviously, we cannot mine Ethereum with this miner. One, the firmware doesn't yet support it. And two, we're way under the 4 gigabyte DAG. Actually, it's coming up to 5 gigabytes now. So you know where I'm getting at here. We just don't have the memory to mine that. But there's lots of other ETH hash coins on the ETH hash algorithm that may potentially unlock with firmware here, which would be a nice bonus for this miner. On the back side of this miner, we do have an SD card slot if you do want to flash this thing for firmware upgrades. You could also do it throughout the dashboard. It's extremely easy. Now we have a reset button, an IP button, we have a fault light, as well as your normal light, and then we've got 2 6-pin adapters and your Ethernet plug. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory what these are for, but I'll show you anyway. So if you're scratching your head wondering what the 2 6-pins are for, those go to the power supply. It does have 2 6-pin power connectors that do simply plug into the back. Once you get them plugged in, all you got to do is simply add the Ethernet cable. This is your LAN controller so that you can set this up. You will need LAN to initially start this up, and then once you're inside the dashboard, you can set up the Wi-Fi if that's how you choose to run it. Next up comes into the power operation. So we simply plug our power plug into the power supply, which is a C13, and plug it into the C14 on the power supply. Final step is simply plug it in. Bam. We now are live. There we go. It's starting to boot up. 43 watts in the idle process. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to set up this miner for yourself so that it mines to yourself. Now, once you have the Ethernet plugged in, internet, and the power, it will begin booting up and it should be detected on your network. I like to just use my router. It makes it nice and easy for me to find stuff connected to it. You can use something like IP Reporter, which would also detect these miners as well. So once you get your IP figured out, simply go to your browser, plug that IP in, and then you're gonna have to log in. Looks like I'm already logged in here, but default username and password is both root. So root username, root password, and you can see it's all in Chinese. So you're gonna wanna come up to the top right and simply click on English. Now it's all in English. We're gonna go to miner configuration, and it has a whole bunch of default addresses and pool and everything in here. This is what they originally used for testing themselves. So you're gonna wanna get rid of everything. So we're getting rid of that. Getting rid of that, getting rid of everything we see here because we don't need any of that. We're not mining to someone else for free. Don't forget the passwords. There you go. Passwords, everything is gone. Now you're going to want to find whatever pool you want to utilize. I myself use Flex Pool. Here I can see my fastest stratum is ETC US East. It has my ping and everything. So this is the stratum I'm going to need. And then you can see your ports down here. SSL is 5555 and TCP is 4444. If you want to use secure or non-secure, it's up to you. Not my choice to make for you. Now I'm just going to use my default settings that I have already set. So I'm just copying them over. Make sure you use whatever pool you want to use. I'm just going to copy this in, paste it in there. Then I'm going to use my worker name and address and everything. Copy, put this into my worker name. Now I want to adjust this to being the Ipollo Plus, because this is the Plus. It has higher hash rate than just a normal mini does. And then password, you are going to have to add an X. If you don't add that password there, it might not work. I had that issue with other miners in the past, so I always put that X there to make sure it works. Now save that and apply. Let it do its thing here. Apply configuration. It's going through a little timer tick down. All done. Now we'll begin booting up the process once again, and I'll let you know just how long that takes. I sat here and spammed the refresh button for about 2 minutes and 58 seconds, just shy of 3 minutes, and we now have our first accepted share. So about 3 minutes is how long it takes for this thing to do its little ramp up process. We see about 34 get works here and 1 accepted share. So we are now up and mining Ethereum Classic. Give it a few more seconds for the pool to recognize this, and we'll have a look at that. Okay, so it looks like the pool did detect the miner. It's been about 5 minutes or so. Now, obviously, we got to wait 24 hours for this to actually match up with what this new miner is pulling. They don't have any reported type of hash rates. This is set to be about 280 mega hash or so. So we'll see what happens. But you can see the jump up by engaging this miner and how much it actually went up. I was at 132 and now we shot up to 453. Power consumption of this unit looks to be around 245 watts while mining Ethereum Classic. And the decibel range of this miner, I will be quiet in a second. As you can see with me talking, I am around the 79 to 80 decibel range. I'll just be quiet here for a minute. So we can see we're around 72.3 or so, which is quieter than what I am talking at in this video. It is a nice quiet miner. You can't really hear this thing whine whatsoever. What could get annoying is the fans when they are on auto. They do ramp up and down ever so often. So maybe you want to just set it at 65 to 80 and just let it run at one consistent airflow. So let's have a look at some hash rates. And you can see it has been running for a few days. We have the 24-hour average hash rate. So this is the hash rate we're going to go by based on the shares sent to the pool. This is legit hash rate. Yes, it is reporting 0. We don't care about that. So we do have a 6-hour hash rate of 259.3, 12 hours of 256.6. And the one that matters is the 24 hours. So we're at 257.2 mega hash on this little Classic Plus. So what is that? 257 mega hash. We were running 245 watts. That is an efficiency rating of 1.048 mega hash to watt ratio. So I'm over here at MinerStat looking at the DAG size calculator on Ethereum Classic, and 3.6 gigabytes of memory, which is what this miner has. Looks like Ethereum Classic will hit this DAG size at around April 19th of 2024. So we have just shy of about 2 years. So we have like 1 year and I don't know, 9-10 months or so to keep mining on this. So are you going to have time to ROI? Let's take a look at our profitability and see what things are looking like. So as for profitability of this miner, currently 257 mega hash at 245 watts. We're using the Ethash 4G version here because we're only at 3.6. We're going to calculate here. And Ethereum Classic is currently at $3.84 after power, or $4.43 currently before power. And this is what I kind of mean by maybe there's going to be some firmware that opens up Ethash, but there are these other various Ethash coins that are mineable if this does get some firmware updates, which is a great thing too, because we do know Ethereum is moving to POS. We're going to see a lot of extra hash rate climb onto Ethereum Classic, as well as all the other coins out there, but we are strictly stuck to only ETC hash currently until firmware comes out, and then we can at least mine these other Ethash coins. But if it does happen, like I said, look at this. We have a variety of other coins that we could potentially mine. Now, as you can see here, obviously this thing is way more efficient than any GPU. There's no GPU out there on the market currently, and most likely not in the next 10 years, that's gonna have, you know, more mega hash than power consumption. You do see that in NVIDIA when it comes to Ergo, but when it comes to Ethereum Classic and Ethash algorithms, that just doesn't exist. So this is totally way ahead of any type of GPUs. If Ethereum Classic sees a pump in the next bull run or something, this is going to have a way bigger head start in terms of GPUs here. But let's kind of compare this right now. So right now we're $3.84 after power. Let's compare that to what a 3070 is currently making. So here is 3 3070s at what to mine. You can see we're at about $3.11 after power. So one of these miners is more profitable in the current market than a 3 3070s. Plus, look at the power this thing's using, 390. We're only using 254 watts or so here, 245. So we are way under the power consumption already over 3 3070s. So we can see the efficiency coming in. We are making more than 3 3070s. And when you kind of wrap the price around it, this is cheaper than 3 3070s. But we don't have the versatility that we do have with a GPU on the ability to mine all of these other coins. So it really does come down to Ethereum Classic and those other potential Ethash coins only. But if you want, you know, something to warm you up a little bit, Ethereum Classic is the second largest coin underneath Ethereum that we can mine that doesn't need an ASIC. So it is pretty much the next go-to at this point in time that pays miners the most. But again, it doesn't have the versatility. If too much hash rate comes in, you know, ETC profits and everything is severely going to tank. All right, guys, so that does wrap up this video here. Hopefully it got you some insight into how this miner does perform. Let me know your thoughts on this little mini ASIC miner in the comments. I'm curious to see what your guys' opinions are. And who is this for? You know, this may cater to some people more than others. I really think people in small apartments, small houses, very power limited, stuff like that, this could be a nice entry-level miner for all of you guys out there. People with huge, massive farms, you might not be so hot on these, but you know, in the end, these are extremely efficient, and it does come down to Ethereum Classic. If Ethereum Classic does do great things, you know, you're definitely going to want a bunch of these in your arsenal. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, comments below. I will see you on the next one. Rabid out.